Assalamualaikum and hi Dr. Wan Yusof and my fellow classmate. So my name is Nur Amaran binti Rahim, L24A0548. So today we want to share about something we might not often think about, but its affect our daily work more than we realize, and that is communication climate. So simply say, a communication climate is the general mood or feeling between people when we interact. It's the emotional tone of a conversation or a working relationship. You can think of it as the weather of our interaction. Sometimes it warm and sunny, other time it might be cold or stormy. This atmosphere has a powerful influence on how well we communicate, how comfortable we feel, and how productive the communication is. So imagine you are in a meeting and someone is actively listening to you, nodding and responding thoughtfully. That conversation creates warm, open climates. But now imagine someone interrupts you in the middle of your conversation, using a sarcastic tone or look at their phone while you are speaking. That quickly turn into a cold and close climate. So there are some features of satisfying personal relationship. The first one is investment. Investment means the time, energy, emotion, and effort we put into a relationship. Even though we may not get those back in the relationship, but this investment feels mutual and balanced. The next one is commitment. Commitment is the decision we make to be stick with a relationship over time. It's about choosing to be present, to work through challenges, and value the connection we have. So the third one is trust. Trust grows when people consistently keep their promises and support one another. It's something we earn through action, not just word. And the last one is self disclosure. Self disclosure is when we share personal information about ourselves that others wouldn't easily know unless we told them. So being open not only help deepen connection, but also require a safe space and respectful space. Next one.
Okay, so hello everyone. Hello there. My name is Salif Shazrin. Lecture number L24A0740. So I'm gonna explain about the conflict with relational dialectics. And what is a relational dialectics? It is an opposing forces that are continuous and normal in relationships. And also, we need for this we need to address our desire for independence, which is autonomy, and interdependence, which is connection, and we also need to address our desire for what is familiar or habitual, predictability, and what is new or different, which is novelty. And we also need to address our desire for open communication, openness, and privacy for closeness. And next, so what are the features of satisfying relationships? Have autonomy, novelty, and also openness. For this example, for autonomy, I want to be close. This statement shows that we want to be close with someone. And also um, for novelty, I like the familiar rhythms and routines of our relationships. And for openness, I like sharing so much with you. And for this kind of features, we also have the opposite one, which is connection, predictability, and also closeness. And for connection, the example is I need my own space. Predictability, we need to do something new and different. And next is closeness. There are some things I don't want to talk about you. This shows that we shows closure towards someone than towards someone. We can manage these tensions through neutralizing them, selecting one over another, separating one from another into different aspects of our life, and reframing the tensions by redefining what the tension means to us. Next. Uh, so negotiating dialectical tensions have four parts, which is neutralizations, selection, separation, and also reframing. For neutralization, it is to negotiate the balance between two dialectical needs. Each need is met to an extent, but neither is fully satisfied. For selection, it gives priority to one dialectical need and neglect the other. For separation, assign one dialectical need to certain spheres of interaction and the opposing dialectical need to other aspects of interaction. And for the last one, reframing, partners redefine contradictory needs as not in opposition. Okay, next. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Eda Musara binti Chowropi and my metric number is L24A0563. So I'm going to present about the level of confirmation and disconfirmation. So for confirmation, what is confirmation? Confirmation means making someone feel seen, heard, and valued. So for level of confirmation, there are three levels of confirmation. The first one is recognition. You recognize or notice the person is there. For example, when you go to your class and then you see your friends and you say hello to them and then your friends say hello back to you. So that is recognition. The second one is acknowledgement. You listen and respond to what they say, feel, and think. When someone shares about their feeling and then you just nodding while someone is speaking. And the next one is endorsement. You are involving others' feeling or thought. When someone shares about their feeling and then you understand how they are feeling. So you say that, I understand how you feel. So for climate of communication, there are three. Climate of communication, the first one is confirmation climate. It's a positive and supportive. When we confirm others, it creates a warm and open communication climate. Even though it's just a small act like saying I understand you, it can change the whole climate. The second one is mixed climate. Sometimes good and sometimes bad, depending on how people respond to each other. Sometimes people listen and support you, but other times they ignore or dismiss you. So the feeling or tone of communication, it's not always the same, it's mixed. And then the last one is disconfirming climate. It's negative, ignoring or disrespectful. So for this disconfirming climate, it can make the environment feel cool and uncomfortable. Next. So what is the difference between confirmation versus disconfirmation? So confirming means that you show that you see and care about other person. It's actually a good communication. For example, when your friends say, I'm really nervous about the exam tomorrow, and then you say, I understand, exam can be stressful. Do you want to study together with me? So it shows that you listen, you respect their opinion and make them feel important. While disconfirming, it's a bad communication. When your friends say, I'm really nervous about the exam for tomorrow, and then you just say, whatever, it's just an exam, you're worrying too much. So it shows that you are not in a good attitude, you just ignore their thought and feelings. For confirming and disconfirming message. For recognition, by saying hello and your friend say hello back to you, it's actually confirming. But if your friend does not say hello back to you, they just stay silent, it means that they are disconfirming you. While acknowledgement, when someone says that it's really hard, that must be really hard, and then it's actually confirming you. But if they are just say that you're just being dramatic, it means that they are disconfirming you. And then the last one is endorsement. When someone giving an opinion or giving a point, and then you say that that's a good point, so it shows that you are confirming them. But if you are saying that you are wrong, so it's actually you are disconfirming them.
Hi, my name is Jessica Maria Jacob and my metric number is L24A0521. I'm going to explain about communication that creates supportive and defensive relational climate. Relational climate is the way we communicate can either make people feel safe, comfortable, or being judged and defensive. And I will show you 6 ways this happen in our everyday conversation. Next. Okay, these are the some example of confirming and disconfirming communications. Next. Okay. First is evaluation versus description. Evaluation is when we judge or criticize someone when they did not do their work properly. But description is when we just explain what we see or feel without judging. For example, if I say to someone, "You are so lazy," that's evaluation, and it's make people attacked. But if I say, "I noticed you didn't do your part of the project," that's description, and it's feel more respectful. Next is certainty and provisionalism. Certainty is when we act like we are always right and thinking other people's opinion are always wrong. While provisionalism means we are open to other people's idea when it's come to a discussion, we always prioritize other people's thoughts. For example, if I say this is the only way to do it, that's certainty, and it feels like I'm the one who have the authority. But if I say I think this way might work, and what do you think? That's provisionalism, and it invites a conversation. Next. Next is strategy versus spontaneity. Strategy is when we talk in a way that's feel very fake or like we are trying to manipulate others. But spontaneity is when we are open, honest, and real without any planning or preparation. For example, if I pretend to be nice just to get what I want, that's strategy. It means I'm already overplanned what I'm going to do. But if I say I really feel in a kind way, that's spontaneity and it's build trust. Next is control versus problem orientation. Control is when we try to force others to do things in our way. But problem orientation is when we work together in a team to solve a problem. For example, if I say just do what I say, that's control and it can make people feel very powerless. But if I say let's figure it out what works best for both of us, that's problem orientation and it create a teamwork. Next. Next is neutrality versus empathy. Neutrality is when we act like we don't care about someone's feeling, thoughts, or idea. But empathy is when we try to understand and show that we care and listen to them. For example, if I say it's not my problem, that's neutrality, and it's make few people I'm a cool-hearted person. But if I say I'm really sorry that happened to you, that's empathy, and it's make people feel very supported. Last but not least, superiority versus equality. Superiority is when we act like we are better than others, like discouraging others in everywhere. But equality is when we treat others with the same respect. For example, if I say I'm smarter than you, that's superiority and it shuts people down. But if I say let's learn from each other, that's equality and it builds a good relationship. So the way we talk to people really matter. If we speak with judgment, control, or act like we are better, we create a defensive climate and that can hurt a relationship. But if we communicate with empathy, openness, and respect, we create a supportive climate and that's help people feel very safe, valued, and heard. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shamsatu Umaira binti Ahmad Isham. My number batch is L24B0457. I will talk about social media and communication climate. The first one, climate matter in social media. Rising awareness about climate change. For example, we always saw on social media campaign like Friday for Future, Climate Strike, or Save the Earth that go viral to spark global attention. The second one is security of disclosure via social media. How secure the information we share on social media platform, whether it's a public post, private message, location text, photo, or even likes and comments. The third one is acknowledgement uncertain. When someone isn't sure whether their message has been seen, understood, or accepted by others, especially on social media. Unlike face-to-face communication, where we can see body language or hear tone of voice, social media lack those cues, and that can create confusion or doubt like, did they read my message? Are they ignoring me? Or did they misunderstand understand what I mean. Reduced ability to interpret messages is how people often misunderstand or misread the meaning. How people often understand or misread the meaning behind a message because of the lack of content, which is in the face-to-face conversation, we use tone of voice, facial expression, gesture, and eye contact to understand someone true meanings. But on social media or messaging apps, we don't have those nonverbal cues, so it's easier to misinterpret when someone trying to say. Next slide. Guideline for creating and sustaining healthy climax. The first one is actively use communication to build confirming climax, which is mean creating an environment where people feel respect, heard, valued, and safe to express themselves. We can acknowledge others, like respond when someone's talk to you, or like a nod, smile, or react. And we also can show empathy and understanding, or we can say like, I get what you are saying, that must have been really hard for you. The second one, accept and confirm others, which means show respect and understanding and appreciation for who they are. You can listening actively without interrupting, like acknowledging their feelings. For example, you can say, I understand why you feel that way, or respecting their opinion even if you don't agree. And the third one is affirm and assert yourself. It's all about being confident and respectful in how you express who you are. You have to stand up for your belief, value, and feelings. Express yourself clearly and respectfully. Be true to who you are, even in the difficult situation. Next slide. Respect diversity in relationship, which is mean appreciate and accept the difference in the people we connect with, for example, friends, classmates, co-workers, or family. These differences can include culture, religion, gender and identity, personality, background, opinion, or belief. The last one is respond constructively to criticism, means to stay calm, open-minded, and respectful when someone gives you a feedback even you don't want to hear it. For example, how to respond constructively is listen carefully and focus on what the person is saying instead of getting defensive, and stay calm and respectful, which is avoid interpreting or arguing right way. And we can also ask question. If something isn't clear, ask politely. For example, can you explain what you mean by that? And take responsibility if the feedback is true, accept it and take action to improve. And thank the person even if it's hard to hear. Showing appreciation help keep the conversation respectful. Next. So that's all from our group. Thank you so much.